So, boys, Tears of the Kingdom has some lovely looking people in the game. Nintendo knew what they were doing with this one. Pura, oh my god, the school teacher vibe. I can't get enough of it. Love the white hair. It's great. It's amazing. I'm eating it up.
See me after class.
All right, I didn't need that now. Jacob, who are you sipping for in this video game?
Zelda. I will always be on my knees for her.
Oh,
A basic choice, but a solid one. A solid one at best, you know. Gabe, who do you like?
So I'll be honest with you. Ever since 2017, I've been a Paya stan. You know, Pyrrha, she's cute and everything and all that, but I cannot deny Paya her beauty and her grace.
A man of loyalty
in
and consistency. We love to see it.
That's right. And now she's like the leader of
True, and she's got
in
power.
this game.
Sheesh! Oh my
That's
god,
right, man.
Seiya, what about you?
Man, I am loving. This is kind of weird. I am loving Taro. That dude, that's the body I'm trying to go for. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god,
Ayo.
Chad from Bleach vibes. Oh my god, I love him. He's great.
that's crazy.
Like a 12-pack in the abs while also carrying a
Yeah,
12-pack.
exactly.
You can grind meat on those muscles, man.
True, he do be having a 12-pack
saying.
ass. It's crazy.
For a fact.
All right, Fuse.
All right, so I found this dude, Dick Cheney. Like, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, there he is.
Did you change the
There
name
he
to
is.
Dick?
His name is Dick, so like it has to be impressive, right?
Welcome everybody to the Boost View Podcast. Here on the Boost View Podcast, we like to look at Nintendo games new and old and give them a look in retrospect and sometimes a review. Today we are talking about Tears of the Kingdom yet again, but today we're doing a 95% comprehensive review, if you can even call it that. But before we get into that, my name is Favlam.
Hi, my name is Gabe Excellion 96.
Hello, I am Fuse, aka Short to Fuse.
And for such a momentous episode, we have not one but two guests with us today, Jacob and Seiran. Jacob, go ahead and introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Jacob Pomegranate. I like mudkips.
What
You love it.
Hey, I'm Seiran, and I love everything Nintendo, but I cover other stuff too.
Hello, gamers.
Great to have a
Hello.
returning guest and a new guest, a fresh face and a returning face. It's always great. Jacob, this is your third time on
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
What was
Wow.
the other episode you were on? Oh, you were on for Coliseum. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah,
Pokemon
with B.
Coliseum.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good time.
No.
But today we're not talking about Pokemon Coliseum. We are talking about the beautiful, wonderful masterpiece that is Tears of the Kingdom. I've been playing the crap out. I think I have like 40 hours logged now in this game.
Nice.
It's kind of
pretty
crazy
good.
over the
Catch up.
past week. Yeah, all right, whatever. Let's talk about the game. What are some of y'all's initial impressions of the game, and then we can kind of start to really dissect this and say like, okay, what are some of our favorite parts, just things that you think about at the top of your head, and then we'll kind of break it down from there. So let's start with one of our new guests. Seiya, what was your like initial when you walked into this game? You said, what were you thinking?
So I am a person who usually doesn't care about spoilers, but I actually avoided spoilers for this game, which means I actually wanted it. Like with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I knew everything about the game. I went into this game with no spoilers, so when I first booted up the game, after I had recently playing Breath of the Wild and trying to get through a Breath of the Wild playthrough, I was like, there are some noticeable like graphical upgrades. Like you can tell this was made for the Switch. My first initial thoughts was like, how the hell did Nintendo do this? How did they put this game on the Switch? Because what? And I guess that's Monolith Soft and what they do, but initial thoughts was like, how did they do? My brain could not understand how they did it because Pokemon
Right.
Scarlet and Violet run like crap, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you have literally 3 different worlds, and say
Yeah.
you seamlessly go between. You know, like you obviously dive from the sky to the ground, and then from the ground into the depths, and it just everything renders, and there's a little bit of frame drop here and there, but like everything is
That's
just
to be
just
expected
feels
on a
so-
Switch game. I
yeah.
believe a little bit.
Oh
But,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
polished.
It's honestly impressive. I was watching a TikTok about this the other day. Basically, they were saying like this game should not be possible on Switch.
At all.
Like
Really?
it feels like a current Gen 5 game, besides like the stupid graphical prowess. But in terms of the way that game engine runs itself, it literally brings in like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. It brings in Breath of the Wild's already fantastic game engine. Then it adds another layer of the 3 different layers of the world, and you can fly between them. Almost seem like you can literally jump, like Gabe was saying, from the highest point and dive straight down to the lowest point of this map, all in one. No loading screens, no nothing. Sometimes you have like a slight chop, maybe some frame drop, but otherwise it's impressive, and they're doing it on 7-year-old hardware nonetheless. Like,
Can I get like nerdy real quick?
crazy.
Go.
No,
Like
let
technical
it loose.
nerdy? So I thought that this game was running on the exact same Breath of the Wild engine. Well, it turns out it's running on the engine that Splatoon 3 and Nintendo Switch Sports is running on, which is a little bit newer, a little bit cleaner.
Okay.
So I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
I can't remember how do you say his name. Akuma. I can't say
Oh
his
yeah,
name.
Aonuma.
That's what he said.
yeah.
Yes,
Hakuna
he
Matata.
actually said recently in
Don't say that, Gabe. Don't say that.
he recently said in an interview.
Gabe, how dare
he
you say
said that last year when they delayed the game in March, that it was actually finished, and they spent the last year just polishing it. And I was like, that makes
And
sense.
that's like what you should do. Okay.
Yes.
All right, everybody listening. This is our per episode Dunk on Scarlet and Violet portion of the
Let's do it.
podcast.
Oh man, it's so fun. It's
do
fun.
it.
It's
Let's
easy.
dunk.
It's just like it's,
Line up this garbage.
awesome.
Layup.
Well, as of recording this, we also had there was a mishap on like their announced a new feature for home.
I saw, I
And
don't
then
even know
they
what it
were
was. I was
like,
just like, all right,
bro, they said the we put the cart ahead of the Mudsdale, and I was like, oh no.
They try to make
That
it
was
a
already,
fun
like,
of their fuck up, dude.
Who announced? Who cleared
It's
that to
okay.
be
I don't
announced?
even know.
One of two things happened here. And my theory is Game Freak fucked up because I have less trust in Game Freak than I do the Pokemon Company themselves. Because I feel like the Pokemon Company, in terms of like optics and like doing things, is like
Yeah.
way more reliable than
Yeah.
Game Freak itself. And
Well, they're a
so
marketing
honestly,
company. That's
I
all they
feel
are.
like it was the fact that there was a miscommunication between the Pokemon Company and Game Freak. That's my theory. There's no basis for this at all. But my theory is Game Freak said it was ready, but it really wasn't actually ready, and then they didn't have time to get it ready, and yeah, something along those lines.
Didn't
Anyways,
have time to get it ready.
yeah,
guys, they're small
This-
indie dev.
make
They don't know what
time.
they're. It's okay.
Make the time. Just
Yeah.
stop the 3-year
Yeah.
releases. Let's just move to a 5-year cadence, and we'll be fine. I
Yeah.
promise.
I
you.
really,
Yeah,
I,
Cause-
really wish
like-
they did that.
yeah.
Because, like, for me, at least, it's like I'm looking at, like, my friends playing Tears of the Kingdom because I don't have it myself. And I'm just like, dude, we just got the absolute dog shit when we got Scarlet and Violet.
Right.
Because, like,
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet don't even match Breath of the Wild. And that was, like, 6 years ago. And then Tears of the Kingdom shows up, just shoots everything from Breath of the Wild out of the water. And, like by triples it. By the size of the maps, by what I'm experiencing, all the new features that they've added. So like, it just feels
10
like we got
million
the
units
shaft.
sold.
We got the shaft.
Yeah.
It makes me upset.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody on Twitter. I saw somebody on Twitter post on their so like you know how your Switch clocks how many hours you have, and then there's also an in-game clock for Scarlet and Violet. They had 1,000 hours in on the Switch clock of like how many hours they played the game, and I think it was like 700 hours their game recorded. So they lost hundreds of hours to lag and the game just not running correctly. That's
crazy.
That's
in the in-game.
insane.
Yeah, if
Oh
like
my
that's how big.
God.
Like I saw us when the game first came out. I saw a Small Ant clip where he had clocked like 40 hours, and the in-game clock did. It was about like a 25% drop of
Yeah.
in-game
Jeez,
time.
That's crazy.
So you're losing
God.
25% of the time that you're actually spending in the game just to lag. Bad engine design, bad everything. Isn't that like crazy?
When I do reviews of indie games and I see that issue, I always call it out because I'm like, I feel like even though it's an indie game, I'm like, I feel like you can fix that. But for this to be
Yeah.
a AAA $60 like huge release, like that's crazy. Man.
Unacceptable.
From a
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar
Anyways.
company too. Like they have
Yeah,
the
oh,
funds
yeah.
and,
The biggest IP in the
resources.
world.
They're just
Yeah.
trying to do like the most cheapest option to get the most bang for their buck.
Yeah.
Right.
Game Freak needs
Anyways.
help. That's all it is. They need help. They need to
Yeah.
just
They need
call
severe
somebody else
help.
on it.
that section over. That we've dunked. We've
Okay.
thoroughly dunked on them again.
I could do an
Yet
entire
again,
video
Game
on just
Freak-
talking shit about Game Freak.
Same.
Okay.
I
We
literally
can just
did.
do another episode on
I
Scarlet and
did a video
Violet
on
and
that.
just say how awful it is again.
Right.
But anyways,
DLC.
dunking on them
we'll do
aside,
that.
we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece. It's a masterclass. I didn't think they could outdo Breath of the Wild, and I think they've done it again, baby. Nintendo
Right.
has done it again. That's
So
my
good.
initial thoughts of it. Let's get to some of the favorite parts of the game, though. So some of our favorite parts of the game so far. I had a lot of like frame drops in this area, but I think it's just because of like how much stuff was going on in the area. The fire temple was really cool to me. I
You like
really
that?
loved.
Nice.
I really loved like the mine carts, like the minecart system, and you're like running around on that. That's been really fun. I like the aesthetic of it. A lot of like I don't know. It's had the most interesting puzzles to me so far out of the three. My least favorite has been the water. I haven't done the desert one. I should say that.
No one
so
likes the
far.
water.
My least-
Water,
Yeah, the water one
coming
was-
back. Yeah, just keeping its.
The boss fight was
anyone-
fun though.
The boss is fun. Don't get me wrong.
boss is
but
really
did
fun.
anyone else feel like that the water area as a whole, like even like the cutscenes were kind of like half-assed? I don't know. Maybe that was just me. I just felt
It was
like
'cause
they
it was in
didn't-
the
they did
sky.
not give.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
the
So
same
there was a lot
as
of
Sky
emptiness.
That's fair. I just felt like they shorthanded my boy Sidon. I was like, come on, give me more cutscenes.
And Sidon is
Give me-
like S tier.
I know.
Still. Yeah, he's so
S tier
good.
boy.
You guys want to know
Anyways.
something crazy?
Yeah.
I
What's
have
up?
not done a single dungeon yet.
You've done a single
Not
one.
a single dungeon,
Okay.
bro.
Okay,
As a
then
testament to how fun this game is. You get
Right?
lost.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
just get lost. Like I went to Rito Village. It's like a winter wonderland. I'm like, oh my god, this music. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Oh, who's this little Tullen kid? Okay, now I find myself. I'm down at the beach, like near Cullen Rock or whatever. That area. I'm like
You're, like,
saving a person
lost.
who's like beach, like astray, like in a beach, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then I just fought a Lionel up in a Kala. I have like I think 10 or 11 hearts. I have a full second stamina wheel, and so I this game is I fucking love it, dude.
It's so
so
fun.
much fun. It is, yeah. I think I have 2 or 3 of the tier cutscenes. I think 2, only 2.
the tier. Oh, you mean the dragon tiers?
Dragon tears, yeah.
Dragon Tears.
Okay, cool.
I don't like how
Gotcha,
it's
gotcha.
like you have to do them in a specific. I wish kind of whatever one you did was just the next like
Yeah, I wish
cutscene,
that
like,
was
chronologically.
It is like
that'd be cool, but
Yeah.
I think I also like the exploration piece of it. I've seen everything out of order. I saw the end.
yeah. Right.
My second one was the ending, and I was like, crap.
yeah.
that's what happened with Quinn. And Quinn saw one with like Ganondorf, like a big army, like and I was like, oh, that's like one of the last ones or something.
Yeah.
Can I mention a favorite part I've experienced
sure.
in the game? I mean, I'm not experiencing
Yeah, that
myself,
you've
I've been
totally-
watching.
Watching,
I
yeah.
honestly like the building and customization of some of the stuff that people can make
So
is
good.
so cool.
Yeah.
Like I saw one with like a triple like laser turret and like destroyed like this like compose of stuff. It was like with like playing like God, what's that song called? I'll figure it out later. But and also like the way that people have gone like meticulously crafted stuff just to torment Koroks. It's
Yep.
so funny to
Classic
me.
Korok tortures. Yeah. Okay,
I'm a proud member of the Korok space program. Damn it.
I sent one out into the beach at night. You guys know how sharks feed at night? I literally sent one out into the ocean.
Oh my
It was on a
God.
paraglider and it fell down.
You shoot it with you do like a Viking send off. You shoot it with an arrow and it catches on fire.
I saw one dude make like a rotating thing of like 4 Koroks, it's like burning them and the bottom like roasting them. I was
rotisserie.
like, oh my
Yeah,
god. You're kidding.
The war crimes.
Dude.
I see stuff like
it's
that, and
so
I'm like, I've used a rock to my shield once.
Yep. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Yep.
I saw a Korok on a what's it called? It was what's the Jesus thing? The cross? Yeah, I saw
cross.
Jesus-
Oh, you seen him
I saw a
crucified?
Korok
Yeah.
on a cross.
Oh god.
Yeah, crucifixion of Koroks has been amazing to see.
Crazy.
Jacob, is that your favorite moment of the game, or give us your favorite moment other than like the ending? Because that's like the one thing we won't talk about in this game.
The favorite part is the ending. I won't say anything about it. But other than
Alright,
that, the
cool.
boss fights are like really cool. I don't know if you guys have done the
True.
Wind Temple boss fight, but that one's
Yes,
so sick.
I'm like,
that one's
that's
so
like the
so
best
sick.
I
one
can't
so
remember that
far.
That one's the one where
That's
you're
the-
Caldera.
Oh,
Caldera.
yeah, okay. That one was super easy because I had a Lionel 3 bow thing, so all I had to do was shoot
yeah.
my shot, and I got a lot of hits on it.
Classic.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
classic.
that's
Class.
yeah.
It took me like 3 minutes.
Either
Yeah.
way,
So here
that fight,
Fuse-
the music in
What?
that fight is
What? What
so
do-
fun.
It is. It's epic.
So context,
Yeah.
basically, there's obviously bow and arrow shoots just an arrow, but
Yeah,
Lionel
naturally.
bows they shoot like a triple. It's like a triple shot. So and
Oh,
that was
okay,
like
that's
a
cool.
returning. Yeah, and they're in Breath of the Wild as well. So if you find a Lionel, I mean, you'll find maybe one in a treasure chest, or you'll kill a Lionel and you get either the Savage Lionel bow or the whatever all that. Yeah. So
I've seen people
for
craft
sure.
like this like giant like axe thing where there's also like a laser line that shoots out and they just throw it and it's just
Oh,
like
yeah,
going
they just-
around. Yeah, I was like, it's crazy.
So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
so there's like boomerangs in the game,
I'm-
and you fuse like some of those.
Like
Zonite
the
tech.
weapons
So
alone
let's-
are making me want to play the game.
Right. I knew as soon as
Yeah,
this
the
whole
weapons are
building and
cool.
fusing thing, like as soon as I was like, dude, I already know we're gonna see the craziest like inventions ever in this game.
Day
Oh,
one,
yeah.
we saw the craziest stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I was like, how long have you guys had the game?
I
Then
mean, the big
remembered
peepee
it.
guy. I saw that the big peepee guy. Just like that was, and I'm like, yep, I need to make that, and that's what I did.
Oh God.
You can make a robot dick. It's a creaky.
Yeah, that kind of leads into the
Rocket
fuse
dick.
ability, or not fuse, the ultra hand. That's
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what we've been
ultra
kind of
hand.
talking about. Let's talk about these abilities. So ultra hand is like the really popular one that you use basically everywhere in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Ultra hand basically means it's basically from the last game, Breath of the Wild. There was magnesis, and you could like pick things up and move them around. So they basically did that, but then now you can kind of like stick stuff together, and it doesn't have to be metal. It just has to be able to be moved by ultra hand, and you can usually tell when it can be moved by ultra hand versus when it can't. And then on a layer they added on top of that was they introduced this stuff called Zonai tech, which are a bunch of these like parts and pieces that can do certain things. There's stuff that are like gliders. There's stuff that's like hot air balloons. There's a fan engine. There's a rocket, which we were talking about. There's like emitters that shoot fire, lasers, or ice, or what have you. They do all these different things, and that's honestly, I think that really makes the ultra, like that's like another layer on top of that ultra hand like ability that already makes it wonderful. And you can save these builds in with the auto builds like
Yep.
ability that you get later on.
Which I still need to get.
I have
Yeah, that's
You don't have
true.
that?
Auto-build.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know why. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a little quick ability,
The scary
or I have my favorite thing to build is I have a little like a little hover bike I make. It's literally just two fans and a
yeah.
controller, and I just zip. I mean, it helps me zip around the underground so fast, and it's like so much
Yeah.
easier to like control and get around with than. The only downside is to it when it dies, it drops. It doesn't
drops.
glide. It
Rock.
just
Yeah.
boom, it hits the ground. So I always I'm like, all right, I have to meter it out, or I'm about to run out of battery. But anyways,
Right.
so that's really good. We also have Ascend, which is like basically their replacement for Rivali's Gale.
I love Ascend.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
Ascend. I thought I wasn't going to
Ascend's
use
great.
it at all, and I use
Right.
it every day,
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes I forget about it though.
I know.
Yeah,
It's in
at
the
first I
shrines.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then I would get stuck, and I'm like, oh, just Ascend.
There's
Yeah.
there's been a lot of puzzles where I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And then I'm like, oh,
You're
I
like,
just
oh my
Ascend.
God, Ascend.
There's a tower. There's literally a tower where you have to like clear out the dungeon underneath it, and then
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay, well the dungeon's clear. What the fuck do I do? Oh,
Yep.
and you just
Yep.
go
Yep.
up.
Exactly.
So Ascend, for those who don't know listening, basically it allows you to a certain height limit. You can just like zip up through the floor and then come out the top side of it. It's a really cool ability. You can phase through literally any flat surface if you're within range of the ceiling. It's really nice. Last two, Fuse is a really cool ability. All right, Fuse. Yep, just go ahead, get your
Fuse,
ego
hi
ready.
Fuse,
We're
you're in the
gonna-
game. Fuse, you're in the game.
Literally in the
game.
game. Like the build,
You are.
Like,
you don't even
so
have the game.
I played the first 2 hours of Breath of the Wild for a dare by my lovely friend Flem over
For a
there.
dare.
Yeah. So, and the one thing I
Yeah, that's
immediately
a great
hated was
dare.
the fact that I was just smacking stuff, and then all of a sudden, oh, your weapon's destroyed. I was like, brother, I can't repair it or anything. That's stupid. And then I just grab like a stick or like a rock on a stick and just beat the crap out of anyone I see. I do like the fact that even though it's in this new game, when it's broken, you can just fuse it with other stuff and make like really, really cool, badass things. Like, and or also like fuse stuff with like a shield, so this way you don't have to worry about being too cold or too hot, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like keep eating berries or like have like a torch in your hand, which feels like a waste of motion, I guess, because you'd just be holding your weapon instead if it was me. And then besides just fuse, I believe just like using reverse and then ultra hand could just like opens up the entire map to you, which I think is like amazing. Like if you want to like go on one of your like Zonai planes and stuff, if you don't have like a cart or anything nearby, you just like throw that in the air, reverse it back, be on it, boom, you're ready to go. I think it's like really cool. It gives like the people the imagination that a lot of people like to do in video games is how to approach it best as they want,
Right.
which I think Game Freak just hit like each one right on the head.
So No Man's Sky, make your own fun is what they said when it 1st came out, and everybody's like, No, you gotta give us some kind of substance to like, you're like, yes, I will like make my own fun, but like this game,
Yeah,
so that
what's
game
the loop?
obviously, I know it's good now, or a lot of people love No Man's Sky now. I've heard it's good, but then on the opposite side of make your own fun, on like the good side, yeah, you have this game where they obviously, there is a lot of substance in this game. You don't, even if you just make like simple stuff. Like I usually just make simple stuff. I've thought of crazy, unique designs, but usually like just the simple stuff will get you by. And like, but you can still make your own fun, even if it's not actually helping you adventure or anything. And I think they just implemented everything, great. They obviously like tested these things out and made sure everything worked out. Yeah, there's some cheese here and there for sure. But you know what? Like I've always been saying ever since Breath of the Wild, Nintendo was like, hey, if you solve the shrine, you solve the shrine. Like if you didn't do it the intended way, but you still got to the end, there you go. Maybe don't do that on a math test. Maybe don't cheat on your math test, but you can cheat in the shrine and it's totally okay.
Speaking of that, actually, Gabe, I think you saw me when I was streaming. I was playing the fire dungeon. I literally didn't use the cart at all.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. I remember that. I was
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the whole dungeon. Didn't use the shrine.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't use
Or
the
carts,
carts at all. I didn't use the
Nice.
carts at all. I just jumped around and crawled.
Yep.
I used the carts in that just because I thought it was like, I don't know, I thought it was fun. I was like, I would love like the rail system. I'm a big trains boy. I love Thomas the Tank Engine growing up, so I was like,
No, same.
train,
That's
woo, whippy, I'm running around. Yeah.
Did you like the fire
Say,
temple
what were you
in,
gonna say?
Minish Cap?
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, say it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
You said you were
Oh, you're good.
I was gonna say, I think the cool thing to me is that in Breath of the Wild, you could use all of your abilities for like combat. You can use it for a lot of things, but not necessarily traversal. But now all these are being used for traversal, which is really cool. And you can, of course, use them for combat. I don't know if you guys saw that video of that guy who put a rocket to his shield and then defeat, the little building blocks enemy. Like
Yeah, I've
this
seen
guy.
that video.
He like did a whole battle where he just shot his shield and then just like slow down time, shot a couple arrows, turned around, shot a couple more arrows, and like killed him in like 30 seconds. It was crazy. Anyway,
Oh my God.
you can use it in combat, but it has to be a little bit more creative. Whereas
Right.
before in Breath of the Wild, you can use all of them in combat. And I think they really want to focus on the exploration of those three worlds because I mean there's a lot. I didn't even like reading reviews. Someone said it was like a hassle to get around the world, and I was like, you didn't build anything because like Flam just said, he has a hover bike. He just auto builds and just gets around the world.
Exactly.
And I didn't even see anyone talk about the depths in their review, like in the official review. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see anybody talk about that. So when I jumped down a random hole and was like, what the hell is this world? I was like, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the game, and no one put it in a review or anything.
Right.
I think they did that because
Yeah.
everybody was afraid of getting point crowed because you gave it's if I noticed that like if anything that wasn't shown in the trailers, if you talked about it, like even our buddy Smarpy, he talked about auto building, which was not in the trailers, but it was like rumored to be in the game. His videos got bonked. He was able to get them back, but it was still just like even just mentioning it. He didn't show it, didn't do whatever. He just said, "Hey, there's a rumor that auto build's a thing," and they said no. So that's probably why they didn't talk about the depths, which is it's still cool. It was a pleasant surprise, but that's probably why it wasn't in any official reviews.
Have you guys seen the thing on Twitter where it's like, I was like, oh, do you have a content creator that's currently streaming Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
We're not telling
Nobody.
anyone, bud.
Nope.
We're not
They're like, no one be a narc.
It's
No
going on
narking right now.
today. Like, no.
The funniest
true.
part is people in the comments with like smaller creators were like, why wouldn't I put myself on this list? And I was like, dude, like listen, like they're not
They're not looking to help you. They're not. No, they want to
They're
point
looking
crow
to
you.
bonk you.
That's right.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
If
some
you create
reason,
if you
I-
create a penis on stream, they're gonna just tank your stream. It's gonna be
They're like,
that's what it's for.
Nintendo ninjas are coming.
They are, dude.
Man, it's
They're
the
covered
only
in-
downside to them being like, because like obviously, so like them being slightly out of touch is what's kept the company like afloat. And like okay, we'll go back to a slight aside here. So like back to what Gabe said, 10 million units already sold. I think this is the 8th game on this console that they've sold over 10 million units, and I think it's on track to probably outsell like a lot of the games on the console already.
Yeah.
That was in the first 3 days when they sold 10 mil. So from there, you have, let's look at Xbox and PlayStation with their fancy, newest, next-gen hardware, and they don't have a single game that's new gen that is exclusive to that console that has sold over 10 million. Nothing has moved that many units, and it's insane to me that they just can't. Those other console companies can't get it together and put their product out there, man. And it's a shame because it's like I would love to see more competitives. I would love to see the Halos come back and the Metal Gears, and like I know there's like Spider-Man and stuff, and those games are worth it. It's just they are not doing a very good job on that front. So, but anyways,
I'm correcting real quick. There are
go for it.
19 games that have sold over 10 million
that are exclusive to on the Switch.
All of these are
exclusive to Xbox.
All these are exclusive
to Xbox or to
all these are exclusive to Nintendo, and they have 19 games and counting.
Oh, to Nintendo. My bad.
10 million.
I'm just I thought you were saying
I thought you were saying
a
PlayStation and
Xbox
shows
up.
Oh no,
it's gonna go over 10.
My bad.
when what shows
up? The new Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi that they're releasing.
Oh yeah, I'm on that day one. Yeah,
dude, day one we're going. we're going in
for sure.
Yeah, I want a Switch 2 or something. I want them to get a new console already. It's already been 7 years.
I feel like it's way overdue.
Basically,
like I thought
it is, yeah.
when they made the OLED, I thought like that was gonna be like the Switch Pro, like the Switch Pro 2, or like the
that's
whatever that is.
Too.
It was supposed to be.
It's just that's it. That's all it does.
Oh wait. No. They did the important stuff. They didn't upgrade any of the hardware internally. You know what they gave us? They gave us an Ethernet port. They gave us a little bit of a nicer speaker in the console, and the screen is nice. The screen is nice.
To be fair, the battery on the OLED is killer. Like I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom OLED for I think I can get like I saw like 6, 7, 8.
You gotta unplug that mic, buddy.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I love you, Austin. I love you. Austin's he's having mic issues this time, guys. Okay. But yeah.
So I don't know if people saw in one of the previous episodes that we had where I jokingly tapped my mic and he did the same thing and knocked his over. It screwed up his port. So please bear with him. He's getting a new mic.
Yeah. It's our most viewed episode, in fact. Yeah,
I read that.
So I should sound better now, but thank you. We'll probably cut that entire thing. Anyways,
oh no!
It doesn't sound better.
It's still no. It's still a little.
No, it's still broken.
Focus on that, but what we can pretty much go about is like how the storyline basically went for the start of the game. Like the first beginning of the game that I've seen on multiple streams is like badass. I love it.
Yeah,
like when his head snaps back, I was like, oh shit, this dude's about to.
He knows.
Oh, it's over. It's over.
It was crazy.
Oh, he has your arm. You don't have an arm anymore. I'm sorry.
I think in comparison from Breath of the Wild to the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild was like, hey, here's this brand new experience that we created for you. Please tell us if you like it or not. Well, now in Tears of the Kingdom, they know that formula works. They're like confident in it, but they still had to bring something new. And there's such a deeper focus on the story. I feel like in Breath of the Wild, like there wasn't that much of a focus on the story. Like I can tell you what happens, I know what happens, but in Tears of the Kingdom, like I'm enthralled in the story. And I think that was the jump they had to make, because otherwise people are just going to say, oh, it's just Breath of the Wild again. But no, they have ways, those dragon tears and those long kind of cinematic cutscenes and everything. Like you're getting context and a lot of different things. Like the reason all your weapons break, there's context for that now. When the upheaval happened, all the weapons that were like nice and polished got like destroyed. So now you have to fuse things together to have a decent weapon. Like, that's crazy to me. They put that context in there because they didn't do that in Breath of the Wild. They just said it breaks.
And then I like how you can still find weapons that are actually still like, like unblemished, all those kinds of, like even like in the depths. And I mean, and I'll scan my amiibo cards. I guess it's not the, the real way, but like I got the, it was like the sword of the sky or something, and it's the sword from Skyward Sword. Yeah. And then, if I scan another amiibo, it'll be like, just like a knight's broadsword that's like not tarred at all. It's still just like 14, and I'm like, ooh, I'll put a 35 on this and have like a 50 level weapon or whatever, So it's cool that
cheat code if an Auroch will suck up your blemished weapon and spit out a new one with the buff.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to try that.
I haven't done that yet. Yeah,
I have the amiibo but I'm afraid to open it because I don't like opening my amiibos.
Right.
Okay.
But I have the amiibo. I guess I'll try to scan it through the box today and see what I get. I don't even know what you get for scanning.
Open a circle underneath.
I just think they're cool.
This one or
Yeah, that one. That
one,
was
yeah.
sick. Yeah, it's sick.
Oh, so
What do you get
sick.
for it? Do you know?
so I've only gotten swords out of it, but I'm sure there's like an actual unique, like rare chance for like a cool thing to come out.
Meat.
How do people get the cartoon Link head guy?
I know.
That's
So-
cool to me.
Yeah, so it's this one. I haven't gotten that yet, but I got
Oh,
the trousers. It's like a little like they're like these like little like kind of like pale white like trousers that you wear, and it has like every like unique like Zelda. I like how each like unique thing has like a little description that's like from that game. This was legends say this is the sword from a hero in the sky, and when you wear or when you have this sword equipped, a heavenly breeze like kicks in or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that's just a little cute.
Oh my god, that's why it's called Skyward Sword. Wait a minute, that's crazy.
Is there a boo button for fuse? Is there like a sound bite we can just boo, fuse, whatever you feel like?
One thing I actually want to say about the story is about the sages. Since the sages are back, which is really really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I really really like.
What's that sage thing I got? It's like a little sage sphere thing.
Oh, you can have them fight with you.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, have you not been
so
able
you-
to activate that, Gabe?
Yeah,
I haven't done it yet.
You can activate the little thing.
I think it
I
automatically.
think you have to
activates.
make it. I think you have to make it work. Like there's like a initial. Like when I got what's his name? Yonobo.
Yeah.
It didn't work anywhere until I like stepped outside of the village or like stepped into a specific area. Then I got like a little cutscene notification.
Yeah. Like when I stepped off like a shrine or something like that. It would
Okay.
kind
Yeah,
of,
when I
like-
went to, I was at a shrine. He popped up, and I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Right.
You said sages are back. Are sages in other Zelda games?
They're in Ocarina of Time.
And in
Are
they're
they
also
really?
in A Link to the Past too, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they?
I think
they're
so.
sages.
Yeah,
Like
the Sages. Yeah, Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. Those are the two like major games that they
Right.
are in. Yeah, there's like whole cutscenes where you like. So in Ocarina of Time, you go through the first 3 dungeons, and then
Yeah.
you go back in time, or you go ahead in time. Excuse me. And then there's 8 dungeons, or is it maybe it's 6? I think it's 6 dungeons, more dungeons you have to do to get all the Sages. So, oh great, now the camera's not working. I love it.
Oh,
It's
no.
great. It's perfect. But anyways,
Tears of the Kingdom gives me big Ocarina of Time vibes, which is my very first Zelda game I actually played start to finish.
Oh, nice.
And when I decided I
Really?
liked the series.
I never actually fully beat it on the when I would go to my friends and play it on the N64. I never had it like it myself. It was always Mario 64, Mario Party 3. But when I got it on the 3DS, I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat it this time. And obviously it looked nicer on the 3D because it was like that graphical fidelity upgrade, all that kind of stuff. But I remember I had my friend Jack. Like it was back when Skype was, Jack, it's Skype, let's Skype or whatever.
Skype.
I was in the water temple and I was like,
Wow.
hey, I'm right here in this water temple.
That's
Can you help me? And he's
crazy.
like, oh yeah, you want to go here? And I'm like, because nobody likes the water temple. It's so hard or whatever.
at all.
The infamous. But yeah, so that's
I have it on my hack 3DS, and I'm meaning to do a playthrough, so I'm gonna do that.
It's so fun. I loved it.
That's
And
a good one to
and
play
I thought
on.
it'd be like, oh, it's on a tiny screen. I like it on a big, but no, it still was so much fun.
Well,
Video
with
games.
that, what are some of you guys' favorite? I mean, we talked about the characters we simp for, but what are some of y'all's favorite characters just in general? I can start
May I-
while my mic is okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say obviously Sidon's a great one. But some new characters I enjoy. I enjoy the guy that Saya mentioned at the beginning of the podcast.
Toro?
He's really cool. Yeah,
Toro.
Toro's good. Or how do you say his name?
Toro.
Taro.
Toro.
Like
Okay,
Taurus,
yeah.
but we're O.
Right.
Yeah, like
Gotcha. He's very cool. Enjoy him. I also enjoy. I enjoy that Impa's like basically on this little vacation. She's just like,
Right.
all right, I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go vibe and have a good time.
Impa's badass.
Tulin's
That's
so
my grandma.
wonderfully wholesome.
Yeah.
I love Tulin. It was great. He's so wholesome. I like his voice actor. She's a good voice actress.
True.
All that jazz. I'm trying to think of like another. I don't know. Again, there's just so many.
I
characters.
like
I'm trying to,
Ganon. I like
okay, which
Ganondorf.
ones?
Oh yeah.
mean,
yeah.
Ganon's pretty
Matt
cool.
Mercer.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Matt
see
Mercer.
their collab that they did?
Yeah.
They sponsored a one shot of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not even a
Yeah,
D&D guy, but
I
thought
did.
that
I
was
I
wanna-
did see that. It's not on TikTok.
I need to watch that.
It was
I need
so
to watch
cool.
it.
Yeah, my two coworkers who are like really close to me, they have D&D nights and all this stuff, so I know what I know context, and I thought
Right.
that was super cool now because I was like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite character is actually it's so random. It's a little side. The guy on the side of the road, he's like holding up that sign. He's just so.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
No.
He's just so dedicated.
Unforgivable.
He's such a corporate shill. No, I'm
I
just
love
kidding.
that guy.
Yeah.
He gives me so many good things. I like the little rice balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, his little rice
Are you
balls. he gives
familiar with
you and
the-
everything? It's great.
Are you familiar with the road sign guy at all?
Oh yeah, not at all.
Oh no.
So road sign guy for anybody.
So basically, he's like one of like the workers for Hudson. So there's the Hudson Construction Company. Hudson is like
Yeah.
the big like construction guy who's like
Gay capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll see him.
Liberalism.
There's this guy. He's kind of like dorky, but like very like committed to like his job, and he just wants to like make Hudson proud and happy and all that. And you see him have a sign like throughout Hyrule Field and everywhere else. And what you want to do is you're supposed to like prop the sign. If you tell him to let the sign go because he's trying to like plant it in the ground, it'll just fall over. So what you need to do is you need to get materials that are usually nearby and kind of like make like a makeshift like stand for it, so that once he lets it go, it kind of like stays propped up temporarily. And then he's like, oh, it's standing. And then like he's able to actually like prop it down to the ground with like and he's like he's a nice guy, and he helped he never gets mad at you if like you tell him to let it go and it falls over. He's just like, oh no, Hudson, no, please. Or,
He gives you some pretty
so
good rewards, like
funny.
some food or some bonfire. Like,
Yeah.
he'll give you stuff for doing that, so it's worth it. But
Right.
it's just really funny that they just randomly threw that in.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like, if once you do them all, like I feel like
get a
Nintendo's going to
reward.
give us something for doing them all. Yeah.
They'll probably give you
bet
like an
that-
outfit or something, like a Hudson Construction
Right.
Company uniform or something.
You get the
Right.
hat. You get his hairstyle.
Plus
Maybe you get like
10,000 power.
the mushroom
Oh my God.
hairstyle would be really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
True.
So,
I was gonna say,
go ahead.
I really like the. I don't know if you guys have done the fairies yet, but like the magicians or whatever. I like them a lot.
I know
have
where one
not done
is.
that
It
yet.
was just really cold, and she was like, "No, I'm not going outside." I need a song
I need to hear a flute.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I guess I gotta do that for you."
Yeah, right. I do like, I know a lot of people are like simping over Raru. He's a sheep. Stop fantasizing over animals. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Oh my God.
Raru, he's that calm. At the beginning of the game, when we saw like the cutscenes, I thought he was gonna be a bad guy because like it was like the scene with him, like, and it looked like an evil background, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks like a Girahim kind of, like the right hand man of Ganondorf or whoever. But I loved like just being up on the Great Sky Island and just kind of like talking with him. He was like King Rome and Breath of the Wild, how he kind of like gave you insight to what this location is, and you didn't necessarily have to talk to him, obviously. And I like him so far in the cutscenes I've seen. I think Sonya is really cool too. I just obviously I've not really dived as deep into the game as you guys, so I need to discover more cool characters.
Let's talk about some of like the extra areas of the game. I guess we were already kind of doing that. So because like the reviewing like the flow and just kind of how the game feels. I think like we were saying earlier, just the ability to go straight from the sky all the way down to the depths. Let's talk about the depths a little bit. How cool are the depths? I love the fact that like you can hop from each little like mushroom thing, plant, whatever the plant, the roots. That's what they're called, the roots.
Yep.
And you can light the area up. Also, it feels like when you're in there, you get a lot of like materials and rewards for being down there, but then it's also very punishing for being down there because of
Very
all the
Yeah.
gloom enemies and how you like permanently can lose your health. And well, I say permanently, semi-permanently. Basically, you lose the max amount of hearts that you have. I'm waiting for my camera to come back. There it is. You lose the max amount of hearts you have until it like you get either under the root light or you go back up to the surface, which is a really cool feature, and it's a really cool way to like, okay, that you physically need to go back up, so that way you're not just down here all the time farming material and farming everything. Additionally, another gloom enemy. All the enemies in the game can have like a gloom form, but one that I've encountered that I believe has replaced the guardians is the hands. The hands
God, gloom
are
hands.
terrifying. Have any of you guys beat them? Because there's
Yeah.
a second stage of them that comes out, or not a second. It has a second form.
Oh,
when you
well,
beat the hands.
Everyone's done that. We've played Smash Brothers.
Yeah, man.
All right, all right,
Master
all
Hand
right.
and
Master
Crazy
Hand.
Hand.
you guys.
We're so
What if the
silly.
hands are an actual playable character in the next Smash? That'd be hilarious.
That'd be
Oh my
so.
god! Wait, did you ever do that in Melee? You could do that. Remember when you could play as the hand in Melee? You had to like, I forget exactly what you did, but it let you play as it.
I thought
yeah.
that was a joke.
No,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
it's like if you go on it,
remember that.
look just like I forget it.
I have I have like 1,000 hours of Smash Melee because that's all I played as a kid. I've never gotten to do that.
I literally didn't even. I thought it was like a lie the whole time, and then I did it like I think it was like a few years ago or something, and I was like,
one of those like L is real or something, like one of those old like video game rumors you hear at school.
Exactly.
Like Mew's under the truck and L is real and Yep.
Yep.
But the hands, when you defeat them, if you don't want to hear this, skip a few seconds. You fight a Shadow Ganon, which is really cool.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So
How
I
do you
first
defeat
encountered
them,
it.
though? You shoot them in the eye?
I just shoot a bomb arrow at them and they die.
Yeah, boom, bomb arrows are usually.
Kick him in the balls.
Yeah.
I dumped like 20 bomb arrows into them from like a ledge, and I still didn't kill them. And I was like, I'm just leaving because I just
That's
used all my
weird.
resources.
Yeah,
It might be because you have to
any
aim for them-
AOE is good.
for the eyes.
Any AOE is good. Yeah, the eyes. Yeah, eyes is probably the best way to do it though, and just be on a ledge. You have to be fast though because the hand, like if you kill some of the hands and you haven't killed all of them, some of them come back with like half of their health.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
Yeah.
So you got to kill them fast too. You can't just kill them. Yeah. So I first encountered them I went to the Korok Forest, and in the Great Deku Tree, there is you have to do like a mini boss battle of the hands. There's just no way to get out, and then you fight the Shadow Ganon, and it's really cool. And you heal Mr. Great Deku Tree, and it's amazing. And so that's a cool fight. Go do that if you haven't. You get some really cool rewards out of that. Anywho, that's cool. The depths is cool. Surface is cool. Skyland's cool. What's some of you guys' favorite parts about the Skylands? The Skylands, if you will.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't done that much of the Sky Islands because, so the way I'm looking at it, I'm just doing all of Hyrule. The depths is 100% post game because I went there one day and got lost for 5 hours, and I was like, if I keep doing this, I'm not gonna finish this game. So I'm finishing Hyrule. I've done some of the Sky Island stuff. They're not my favorite part of the game because I don't know. Some aspects of it, like when you can float and have like weightless gravity and things like that. But Skylands aren't my most favoritist part. My favoritist part is the depths, but I want to save that for end game, so that's why I'm not exploring them too heavily.
Fair. I really like the gotcha thing. I don't know if you get the little
Yeah.
Machine.
They're so fun.
But
I love that.
Other than that, I feel like I don't know, because the Skylines are really small. They're not like as big as the depths, and they're not as big as Hyrule. They're just little pieces in the sky. So I feel like I don't know, if some part of me feels like it's like lacking just a little bit just because of how small they are. But that's all.
At least they're not like in Skyward Sword. Remember that? Remember like how every island in Skyward Sword was just like a little baby. Like there were a couple like Pumpkin Lodge, but like that's like that was one of my biggest gripes about that game was there was no exploration. Like
Yeah.
I've marked some Skylands on my map, like if I want to go back and check out, because there's one with mining carts that connects to a bunch of different things. I'm like, there's probably a shrine or something cool there, so I'm gonna come back for that. But most of the time, I'm just like, oh, it's in school, all right, cool, and I just jump off and go to Hyrule.
Do you know like the Death Star? There's like, isn't there 2 Death Stars like in the Sky Island? There's like the big sphere ones looking. I always thought those looked cool, but
I check those out.
Yeah, I haven't been into any of them. Well, actually, wait, I think I went into one. I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm lost.
The diving portions are where you get the wingsuit. That's like my favorite thing, where you have to like dive straight down.
Gotta get the
time
wingsuit.
mission.
Is the Master Sword easy to get, or is it harder?
I don't know.
I got it pretty early.
Looked for it.
I got it already. It's
post
different.
It's post. You still have to go to the Korok Forest, and you still have to beat. You have to beat the Shadow Ganon, and then the Great Dago Tree is like, "Hey, go to this point on the map." And then I'm not gonna say anything else because that cutscene and that whole rest of that mission is like really cool. So yeah, that's why you should do the Korok Forest. You still go there to get the Master Sword, but
the Master Sword is very story centric. I would feel. Yeah, it's very very story centric.
In comparison to Breath of the Wild, does Tears of the Kingdom's like map look smaller? Like it looks small. Like when I look at the map, it doesn't, like when I look at Breath of the Wild's map, there's like a bunch of everything, and it looked like I could kind of scroll my cursor and it'll like drag across the screen. But like when I do that in Tears of the Kingdom, it's just like here's everything. But I guess it's because
I think they just made the UI. I think 2 things. I think they made the UI better. Of course, my camera freezes when I'm talking. I think 2 things. One, I think they made the UI better so that it like you could move your cursor faster, and then 2, I think the world is more full of stuff, so it looks better, or it feels smaller because it's more, that huge world it was expansive, feels more full now. So I think that's kind of the big thing with that. Yeah, but anyways, so Skylands is cool. We talk about depths, the temples. We talk about which ones are our favorite. That's a great one, great time, all that good stuff. I think I think the surface as well. I think it's different enough. Like it has a ton of new stuff to do, so it's plenty different enough for anybody who's like, oh, it's just a DLC, blah 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 blah. No, they added 2 new layers, and the layer that was there is like, so it's familiar, but it's different.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. They can just go and take a big old fart.
I don't know how like they could think that like Nintendo like would make a Zelda game that is literally just glorified DLC. I'm like, that has that maybe happens for other games, but not for like Did you guys hear something? But like this game, I mean, some of the map is it's still the Breath of the Wild map, but that's, I don't know, man. I mean, have you ever played literally like any Call of Duty game in recent years? I mean, like I still like Call of Duty, but man, it's just kind of you know.
I participate in fanboydom. I like to watch it from afar.
Right.
And what I always see is that if there's a game that people are liking, instead of just going out and participating in that game, people just want to defend their side.
Right.
And people are like, how is Breath of the Wild better than, or is Tears of the Kingdom better than Redfall? And I'm like, let's not do that. That game sucks.
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, how is it scoring higher than Horizon? Was it Forbidden West, the last one? Forbidden West. And I'm like, well, no one likes that game because they keep on talking and everybody's like, shut up. Like this is long narrative thing. You can't actually do what you want to do. Like, and it's just different. But for me, I'm not going to sit here and say Tears of the Kingdom is the best game ever. I'm going to say, hey, I really like it. Yeah. Those other games are cool too. I'm just not going to play them. Yeah. And like go about my day.
Give credit where credit is due. I mean, like, it's a good game, man. Like that's like, I'm sorry that. Call it. Yeah. That's it.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Pokemon Skyward is the best game of all time.
Oh my god.
Music's good.
Yeah, they got Toby Fox for it, so.
Lag Lake. You guys ever been to Lag Lake? Of course, we've all been to Lag Lake. Pain.
Have you guys been seeing people talk about like comparing Tears of the Kingdom to Final Fantasy 16, and folks are like, that game isn't even out yet. You can't say it's better. You can't say like.
I was like, when did 16 come out?
Just shut up.
Dude, it came out today. You guys, I've been playing it all day.
Man,
you're not here.
Like, well, it's in Final Fantasy 16, the combat's so much better that I'm like, okay, we understand, but that is an action RPG. This kind of is, but this is more about adventure and exploration and shut up.
Sometimes people compare games that just don't need to
go back to hibernation for the next 3 years when they delay it again.
Like some games are just like they can be great. Like Elden Ring and like this game can exist and both be good and both be 100%. Fun. Like it's just
never played Elden Ring.
It's been but it's for some people it's not their thing. Just like some people this won't be their thing, you know. So but anyways, let's talk about some music. Gabe, it's time. It's time for the music showcase.
Oh, I just picked one for myself, and then I have the Wind Dungeon from Jacob. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, if you guys,
the Wind Dungeon soak.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the dungeons.
So everybody tune into. Gabe's gonna share his screen.
But let me, if you guys want to post, like, if you think of music off the top of your head, go ahead, post it in that music section right over there in the old chord.
There's one music that I want to send, but it's spoilers, so I can't.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm sure you're probably a final boss or something like that.
Yeah.
I figured. God, I can't wait for that. Okay,
I can't either. It's gonna be so. I'm so excited to like beat the story of this game finally. I'll probably beat it this afternoon. Honestly, I'll just be playing it.
Honestly, do it
when I should be editing.
Good.
So this was the first thing like I really noticed in this game when it came to music. Like, there's a lot of music I listened to, and I was like, oh, that's really good. But this right here, like, I am in the sky, I am diving, I'm flying. Like, I love the Sky Island so much, and I love how I just find myself standing on one of the islands and just like listening to this music, or like when I'm falling. It's just like kind of this very airy piano.
Oh yeah.
Like you just feel like weightless, just like floating down to the ground like a feather.
For sure.
This is the only video I could find of this song too. I couldn't find like anywhere else. Everything else was like the main theme.
The main theme. Fair.
But it's a very, obviously it's not like a huge, epic song like final battle or a dungeon or whatever, but it's you know, I think
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
That's cool.
Very very air vibey. I mean, you like, you know, just like that very echoey kind of light piano tapping. Just that's
Yeah,
I am in the sky right now, basically.
true.
But it obviously is a little repetitive just because it's kind of more of, you know, like overworld, you know, like ambient, whatever.
Yeah.
Ambiance. But yeah. Jacob sent this one. This is the Colgera Wind Dungeon boss
So
battle.
good. It's so good, dude. Holy shit.
It's so good because it has Wind Waker, Dragon Roost Island.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot about that.
Light motif of that. So good.
So good.
I love
so,
the fast,
so good.
like, is that flute or is that like,
I think it's
Yeah,
free,
1000% a flute.
oh wow, we just exploded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the theme.
Yeah, it's so
Damn,
good.
dude. I love when they
So
do like,
good!
motifs like this
Fuck!
and
So fucking good. I love the
Scream,
music.
Austin!
I love it.
Ah!
It's so good.
You
Ooh.
gotta talk over the whole time so you don't get DMCA.
Nah, we won't get DMCA. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
They're coming for
Tears of
us.
the Kingdom.
Don't do it. That's a good one.
Should we do a Hyrule Castle?
Yeah, that works.
Think Hyrule Castle?
Hyrule
Okay.
Castle.
Oh, here I saw.
Also,
here it says-
Seiya's given us one. Yeah, the main theme. The
Mine
main
is
theme's
mine
always
is
great.
basic. I just like how they remix, like they kind of like remix Breath of the Wild into this kind of newer. It's just like the skipping it. Like I love it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just,
Right.
It's a
The
good
first
point.
time I heard it, like chills. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, you're like,
this is-
whoa, this has
is
like
my
a weird
thing.
vibe
I'm
to
gonna
it.
be all over this game.
Right.
True.
Oh yeah, that weird like rewinded music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that is it's so cool to me.
Right.
It's so good.
And that's creative because when you think of like game music, you don't usually hear things like that. That's something
Right.
you hear like in a pop song or like something
Yeah.
you hear today like on the radio. You don't really hear that necessarily in a game.
Yeah.
True. Yeah,
It's just so good. Oh,
I agree with that.
and it gives the vibe of kind of this dystopian world that you're again stepping foot into.
Right.
Yeah.
How everything is kind of like, you know, kind of gibbered and messed up because I mean that's the world. You're literally putting things back together.
Right.
True.
I
This
think
is what we're gonna
is
hear
one of the
at,
best, like Zelda themes.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's so much going on. There's so much depth to it. You know, it's like a big juicy burger that has every, you know, you got the toasted bun, you got the bacon, you got the cheese, you got the tomato, lettuce, maybe some mayonnaise, maybe like an
Yeah.
egg on it.
You know,
What's that?
you know that at the
I
end
said
of the year,
pretzel bun.
Yeah, pretzel bun, or like a nice like yeah. Oh my god, pretzel buns are so good.
Brioche.
you
I'm
know
not
at the end of the
hungry now. I
year
haven't
you're gonna
eaten
hear we're gonna hear Jeff
You-
Keighley fucking say Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. We're gonna have the live orchestra there playing it. It's gonna be fantastic. Game of the year, baby. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready for it to be
That's so
there.
good.
That's gonna be great.
Do you think they reversed the beginning because Link can reverse time now?
I thought
Oh,
Zelda
I think
can reverse
that's-
time.
I think
Yeah.
I think that is
Probably.
because I don't know. It all fits. Like they've been giving us hints this entire time, and I don't want to spoil anything else. But like even looking at this screen, you know.
Right. There's, I mean, the big circle right here. I mean,
The
if you guys
Ouroboros.
played Skyward Sword, there was that big like circle portal you went through to like travel. You know, that's kind of like reminiscent of that. I would say.
Now that I played the
I
game
just
more,
see two
and again,
dragons
Jacob,
chasing their tails.
yeah,
True.
Jacob,
I
don't
gotta get that tattoo
confirm or deny this, but now that I've played the game even more, I feel like the end's gonna be this thing of we're going back in time, not just to like not calamity, but we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning of the cycle and stop the cycle from even happening. That's my theory. Could be totally wrong. We're gonna find out, I assume. But that's where I'm at right
I
now.
will not say anything.
Yeah, don't say anything. But anyways, yeah, that's my theory at the moment. We'll find out in like a week if I'm correct or not. So I guess 2 weeks because recording 2 today. But yeah, you could do whatever. I mean, we've listened to the trailer music again, so we don't need to listen to that.
Yeah, I think this
Is
is.
this the one?
uh,
Or wait, this is.
What the fuck is this AI?
What the fuck is this?
What am I
That's the
reading?
sponsor.
I was like, honestly,
Is this
honestly, Gabe,
ChatGPT?
I thought you brought it up. I was like,
Wait,
Gabe, what
hang
did
on,
you-
hang on,
what
no,
did you
go back to the
bring
video. I
yourself
want
on
to show
screen?
that.
Bring
Hang on,
yourself
hang on.
on screen, Gabe.
Wait.
Okay, this is the one.
Oh,
This is the one I was thinking of. Love how they, but yeah, did anybody else like not actually know what the start menu looked like? because you had the game.
Oh,
paused
yeah.
For so
Yeah,
long.
I love
yeah,
I love
I
the advertising. Buy games directly from devs on Nexus GG/LFP Gaming.
Okay, so
Yikes.
Hyrule Castle, this is when you obviously just go into it proper, you know, the part that's been lifted up. It's very evil sounding, very like, I mean, you know, evil, foreboding, all the different words. Holy shit! But
You're like, oh my god.
when you go in there, it's kind of empty. I love that.
Sure.
But
I feel like it's
there's
purposefully
enemies
empty,
there.
right?
Yeah. I don't know if like maybe like they come there later, like once you like done. Obviously, you guys might, you know, well, Jacob for sure knows more, but
I don't know.
it's cool. Yeah, all this is really really cool. Just
What?
what was that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Jay, what are you, Gabe? What videos are you
Oh,
showing
okay.
us?
So, like, the DJ tag.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
really.
I want to say.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
well,
LP
Alexa,
gaming.
speak out internet browsing history.
What, it's just
expose
nothing but farts.com.
Jabe right now.
Oh,
I love how it just like keeps going slowly and slowly, like going up with the notes.
Christian
violin,
yeah,
yeah.
that sound great. I play
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
man. I know these
It's
words.
really good.
That's right. Yeah, the music theory terminology. I used to know it. Now I don't.
True. So
Kind of decrescendos. Get decrescendos. Is that it? Yeah, decrescendos. I think,
Gabe, I
yeah,
want
a
you to
little
play
bit.
this because I think it's the same as the hands. I could be wrong, but it's the like
send it.
it's phase 2 of the it's Phantom Ganon. That's like who you
Ooh,
fight
Phantom
after.
Ganon. That's
So you-
awesome. They brought him
Oh.
back. I love that.
Yeah. It's a very sinister, like
Same guy.
whoa.
Right.
It's the
Let's
same
go,
AI guy.
Damn.
What is it?
That's
yo,
so
he's
funny.
hitting up Princess Zelda's DMs.
It's very like epic and like mini boss feeling. I don't know.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's crazy they're throwing an ad on a song that's not even theirs. Like,
I know.
That's
And they're even like recognizing it as like the AI can be these characters from the game. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a cool boss theme. I thought I enjoyed. It's not as crazy as the Wind Temple. The Wind Temple I think is still my favorite. I need to check. I need to go to the Gerudo Valley because I feel like that one's gonna be a really good place to go and check out as well. But yeah. Anywho, do we have any other music? Any other suggestions? It might be the shorter
say if you guys.
one, but
I'm trying to
I
remember
just-
all the other boss
just so
fights
many.
themes, but I
I'll
think
do-
the Wind Temple was the most iconic one.
Yeah.
Gerudo Village, snow covered. Tears of it. I'll do this one just because this kind of reminded me of like a. Let's see.
Make sure you put music at
The,
the
is
end.
it the bottom one? The bottom one.
I love how it's
Oh, shit.
Austin John Plays, bro. Austin John Plays has been grinding the content.
he
for
has
this.
been grinding
He's
it
been-
out. And
yeah.
the crazy thing is, he makes these videos and lives off them for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I've literally been.
Dance
I've been
time the rest of
like.
the year.
I like party with him at PAX. Like we were like he was one of the people we bowled till like 3 a.m. with, and then it's just weird to see. We're just like, oh yeah, hey, what up?
Oh,
You're that
so I
guy.
didn't know you're Paxies.
Yeah, I was
This is
at PAX.
Frozen Rito Village.
Ooh.
Very, you're frozen in time in this. This is obviously because the big storm going on over the Hebrew Mountains.
Mhm.
It's very, I mean, obviously sad and just feel cold and
I
you know,
know.
lonely and desolate kind of thing, you know. And then you got the theme, of course.
High key sounds like
Off topic,
some.
but this art is so dope. Like, I love this. Their official like water painting.
Yep.
Yeah.
type art is like.
Yeah.
Can we buy that somewhere?
Right? Yeah.
You
right?
can.
I have the,
It's in the
pre-order
collector's
bonus from Best Buy. I remember when this art first came out, I saw that tornado down there, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
or, you know, the cyclone, whatever it is. And I was like, whoa, what is that's like Rito Village? And then like, oh, Death Mountain has like that, it looks like malice coming out of it, you know, at the time. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you know, all the four
Zaya,
nations
you
are
can
under
literally
attack
buy it
again or
right
whatever.
here in the collector's edition.
Oh, there it
art,
is, yeah.
from the
I need that,
collector's-
but like 20
Mhm.
times that size.
Right.
Yeah.
I want it as like a
Welcome to
comforter
my
on
house.
my,
This
on
is
my
like
bed.
my
I
comforter.
don't want 4
I'm
walls.
pretty
I
sure
want
there is
3
one.
walls and that poster.
You know what? Give me your Pokemon 2000 poster right now.
Right now.
Fuck you, Gabe.
Man, my side of this
Yeah,
is gonna be rough. I can tell. I think we're coming to the time anyways, so this is good. Let's give our official ratings of the game out of 10 and we will go from there. And I think that'll do it for us on the Boost a Few podcast. I'll end us off. So go ahead. We'll start with Seiya, go around, and then come back to me. So Seiya.
This game is a near perfect game. And I don't believe when people say nothing is a 10 out of 10. Well, if it can't be reached, don't put it on the scale. So to me, this game is a 10 out of 10. In context, it is a 10 out of 10 in comparison to any other game you could spend your money, your $70 for. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I recommend it to anybody. Play it.
100.
100 out of 10.
Jacob.
A million out of 10.
100 out of 10.
Million out of 10.
Jacob, what about you?
I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I think I'm gonna give it like a 9.9, just because I wish that the sky, like, I wish there was more about I wish there was more stuff in the sky, because I feel like I get lost in the depths and in Hyrule, but I don't get lost in the sky as much as I do Hyrule and the depths. So I wish there was just a little bit more there, and that's pretty much it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's valid.
I'll go with my next. I'd say near perfect 9.5 out of 10. There's like a couple tiny little gripes. I feel like there's a little bit of continuity, weird, just small things, like where the Sheikah Slaika is, stuff like just very minor things. The one thing that I don't like about like Gloom and the depths is when you lose your hearts, it's no issue getting your hearts back. I know the whole point. I know the game's not trying to steal your life from you forever and ever, amen. But like, all you got to do is, you can teleport away from danger anytime. So I never actually feel truly in danger. And once, it's a very small thing. And I understand this game isn't trying to be the hardest thing ever. It's I do think it's cool how they brought Gloom into the game and how it interacts with Link's health and all that stuff. Yeah,
I think the point of the Gloom in that instance was that you were supposed to, like, it stopped people from like just shoving a shit ton of food in their mouths.
Right.
It's like it's just a more punishing way of to get hit.
And you can do Sunday lines though, and then that'll instantly, I found so many Sunday lines so far. But it's no big. But dude, the gorgeous artwork and just the the visuals and everything. The story's really good so far. The gameplay is very immersive, and I just get sucked into it and just like, oh my god, I'm like looking over this guy. God, it's awesome. I definitely recommend it. I think it's one of my favorite Zelda games of all time so far from what I've experienced. And man, anybody would love this game if they're a fan of this kind of genre and series.
It goes to me then. Okay. All right.
As somebody who hasn't played the game,
listen,
see what the outside
I've
perspective.
seen enough of my friends play at certain
Outside
various
looking in.
points. Outside looking in, I will give this game a 10 out of 10 for 3 solid reasons. Okay. So number one, they added that fusion thing, which is me, which I thought was fantastic. That's what I've been waiting for. 2. There is finally an arrow that auto guides and hits its target, because I'm the only Texan that can't shoot anything. And number 3, Dick Cheney. It has to be it. It's a 10 out of 10. It has all the 3 things you need in a game.
Dick Cheney made money off the Hyrule War. I'm gonna say it. All right.
Yeah, the Calamity,
did,
the Demon King War. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
man. All right. Well, comes to me, praying my camera doesn't die halfway through me saying this. It's as close to perfection as it gets, man.
Right.
It gets it's gonna be, everything's gonna, just like we were calling everything Breath of the Wild, everything's gonna be compared to Tears of the Kingdom. I think it stands up there with Elden Ring. It stands up there with some of the greatest games of all time. You really just can't beat this. It's worth the $70 in my opinion. You can even do the game voucher and get Pikmin 4 if you're into the Pikmin, or get any of the other. But why did you make that face, Seiya?
Bayonetta Origins.
Okay, all right.
I need to play the Bayonetta games. I've never played them.
It was the face for me.
Don't do that.
I know.
Don't
Like,
say
what?
Pikmin on your own
I
podcast.
love
ever again.
We're gonna do an episode.
Play
We're gonna do
Tinykin
multiple
then. If you like
episodes of
Pikmin, play Tinykin. So Pikmin will understand what they need to do.
Okay, the only game that will never be the one game that is perfection will never be beat is Duke Nukem Forever. I know we can all agree on that.
All right. That's
that. So true. So true.
Sir, I've played Conker's Bad Fur Day. Okay, so fight me.
You're right.
Gex.
The Curse of Monkey Island 2.
Yeah, this stands up there with the test of time. Honestly, I think it's going to be a game that we play for many, many years, and it's worth your money. Trust me, especially if it's like, even if they come with a Switch 2 or something, like it's worth buying right now. So,
True.
anywho, that's going to do it for us on the Boost View podcast. Let's do Jacob, then Saya. Jacob, where can they find you on the internet?
Everywhere you can find me is just like Jacob Pomegranate. That's pretty much it. And just on Twitter, it's just Jacob_Pom. But yeah, just Jacob Pomegranate, pretty much everywhere.
Hell yeah. Saya, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me at youtube.com/SayaRanGaming. Saya Ran, like the great Saya man. And then on Twitter, it's just at Saya_Ran. And I'm really active on Twitter, and I get into a bunch of debauchery, so let's have some fun there.
Yes.
I can't wait to see I'm still waiting for your campaign video to
I'm
come out,
working
man.
on it. I'm scripting.
There you go.
For those who don't know, we played Versus. And he
Oh, yeah, I
lost,
was gonna
and
say.
his
cheated.
side was.
Punch is a terrible game.
I love
And
Punch.
we couldn't play
Berries and
Apex.
cream.
So
Berries and cream.
Yeah, I did have to do that with Brandon. That was fun. Now I have to wear the maid outfit to Ohio in June because of
Are
Inky,
you
by the way.
0-3?
No, I'm 2-1.
Okay,
'cause I
2
beat
and 1.
Saya.
Oh, you beat Saya. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah.
Saya beat you.
No, I beat
I
Saya.
wish. He cheated.
Anyways, so that's gonna do it for us from the Boost You podcast. Remember to
You're a
follow.
winner in my heart, man. I got you.
Remember to follow, like, comment, subscribe, rate us on everything. I hate my fucking camera. I'm gonna throw it out the window. I'm gonna throw the entire PC out the window. I'm gonna reset everything. It's fine. And if you want to donate money to Flam getting new equipment, please do.
Says
yes, do it.
Promo.
Toad says
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my god.
Toad says yes. Yeah.
Craziness.
Thank you, everybody, so much. We'll see you guys
Bye,
next
love
time
you,
when we talk about
everybody.
Breath of the Wild.
Bye,
So,
dogs.
bye, everybody.
Bye, dogs.
Bye.